brochachos, I want to thank you all for supporting me over the last few years. I set up this bodyboarding channel just for a bit of fun, and I've hit 1,000 subscribers, and thanks to you guys for supporting me, I've decided to get a bit of merchandise, get a few stickers and t-shirts. So the stickers are coming first, so I do want to get them out to anyone who wants some stickers, and just thank you for the support that you're giving me. And I've also been sent quite a few questions to answer, just a bit of a Q&A, so yeah, we'll get cracking. So the first question comes from New Glory Days 2021, and he asks, what's the best waterproof camera on a budget? I've only tried one other camera outside the GoPros, and it had a round lens and the droplets would stay on the bottom of the lens, so I wasn't impressed with that one. So I've used GoPro 5s, 7s and 8s now. I know there's newer versions out, but I don't think you can go past the GoPro for just a reasonably priced action camera. I've had a few problems with them over the past, but you always, I get them from Harvey Norman, so I just go back and they cover the warranty, and I've had 2 brand new GoPros replaced. So I think the GoPros are pretty hard to beat, and they have a lot of features, and they also have a lot of extras that you can add to them. So their GoPro is the camera for me. So I've got another question from Joel Sinton, and also Slither Noah. Similar questions. So the first question is, why bodyboard over surfing, and have you ever gone surfing? Yes, I used to surf when I was young, stand up. Had a Mark Richards twin fin. I was pretty proud of that at the time. Mark Richards was the world champion. And why bodyboard over surfing? No real reason. I guess the advantage is you can get inside a lot more barrels. It's easier on the body. You don't have to try to stand up. And as I get older, you get lazier. So laying down on a board sort of suits me. Okay, so Liam Moz has asked, how shallow is that reef? Have you ever hit it hard? I know the wave he's talking about. I don't believe I've ever slammed into the reef as such. I've certainly felt it underneath me, and I've certainly rolled over it a few times. I guess the dangerous thing with the reef is going head first into the reef. That'd be dangerous. So far, I've managed to avoid any major injuries, so I guess I wouldn't go out at low tide when it's 6 foot, because that'd be dangerous. Ben Kearney has asked a question, any tips for beginner bodyboarders? I'm no expert, I'm no phenomenal bodyboarder. I do the basics, that's about it. But if I was to give a tip, I would say get your hand position right early, and secondly, learn to bottom turn and learn to go left and right. So they're the simple things. Once you master them, the rest as long as it's not some really crazy tricks. Everything else is fairly simple. Barrel riding, you know, spins, barrel rolls, basic tricks, you know, they're not too hard to achieve. For some they are. For me, they're not easy because I'm an old guy. But I think once you get a little bit of experience, you should be trying spins and rolls just to see if you can do them. And when you do pull them off, it's pretty cool. Okay, so I've got a pretty long question from Greg Lopez. He's asked, I'm late 20s with a bunch of friends entering their 30s. Lucky bugger. Coupling up, settling down, fast tracking the move to dogs and mortgages, where I feel like I'm still 5 years or more away from that stuff. What would you have told your 20-something-year-old self about that kind of stuff? Should you say goodbye to your 20s and sign into a mortgage, or live a little bit guilt-free? There's a lot of questions in there. Don't ever be pressured by what other people do. Do what you feel is right. And if it means not settling down, then don't settle down. But if you do find somebody special, I believe that's the most important thing in life, finding that one special person. And you might have a group of friends that are really cool. So if you do, don't lose good friends. But never give up what you love. Have a passion for everything you do and enjoy life. What would I say to my 20-year-old? If I was 20, I'd say, brochachos, get yourself a van, deck it out, bodyboard, chill, relax, and don't let things worry you in life. And surround yourself with people that love you. And if you find that someone special, look after that person, and they'll look after you. But keep booging, don't stop. Okay, so I've got a Nige Smith, and he asks, hey mate, when did you start bodyboarding? What made you get into it? So I started bodyboarding about 9 years ago. I was a late bloomer, and the only reason I got into it is just through luck. My son wanted to learn how to bodyboard. He came to me one day and said, Dad, I want to learn how to bodyboard. And I said, you mean boogie board? And he said, oh, you don't say that. It was almost like I swore. So I thought, at that time, believe it or not, I was a passionate golfer. I was golfing every weekend, and I sort of I said to him, well, if you're going to bodyboard, you're not going to go on your own. So it was more about making sure he was safe. After my first bodyboarding session, which was pretty sad, I'd say, I was hooked. I was really taken back by how cool it was, and so I'd go out with him every time, and he got really good and I got okay, or very average. So he still bodyboards today and he's quite good. And I still look after him, I still watch him, he's still my boy. So that's basically what happened. That's how I started in bodyboarding. So I've got a question from Logan Tayiki. Hope I pronounced that right, bro. Sorry if I didn't. And so he's asked if there was someone that wanted to come and have a brew and paddle out with you. Would that be cool? Absolutely. And a beer, absolutely. I'd probably want to surf first and then have a beer. Although, who knows? Yeah, I have no problem with hooking up with my brochachos. I'd love to have a ride with some subscribers that I've never met before, and just sharing the vibes. It'd be awesome. If you're in town, or if I'm escaping and going somewhere, I might even put it up on my page, and hopefully catch up with some of you guys. But yeah, anytime, brothers, anytime. So Hugo Fuccino has asked me a couple of questions. First, how's the shoulder holding up, and how do you deal with injuries? Shoulder's good. Shoulders come back really well. How do I deal with injuries? I do get massage, which helps. I try to stay healthy. I try to stay fit. I do weight training, and I just try to stay in shape. It gets harder and harder as you get older. But injuries, it doesn't matter what age you are, you're going to get them. You're just going to take a lot longer to recover from injuries as you get older. But it really comes down to needing to get in the water and not letting injuries stop you. So if I had a really bad injury where I couldn't surf, that's fine. But if I've got niggling injuries, I still get out there. I just don't surf great. Don't surf great anytime, but when you're injured, you just take the foot off the accelerator and just try to not do anything silly, so you can come out again injured. So Max Hart has asked, what GoPro do you use? I still use a Hero 8. The reason why I haven't gone to a 9 or even a 10, and I'm guessing there's probably an 11 coming or already out, is the features in the GoPro 8 are way more than I'll ever use. So I can probably see myself buying a couple of second-hand Hero 8s and just having a whole stack of them, rather than move up to the 9 and the 10, and just have a backup. A few extra batteries, a few extra charging stations. So yeah, I'm happy with the 8, and I'll probably stick with the 8 for quite a few more years. Yeah, it does everything I'll ever need. So Johnny K has asked, how many sharks have you seen bodyboarding? Too many. And every time I see one, I tend to not think about videoing it. I've actually swum over 2 sharks very slowly, and by the time I got over them, it was too late. But I had the GoPro on, and I didn't videotape the sharks. Crazy. So I'm that nervous that I'm not thinking straight. But I've probably seen 1, 2, 3, 4, probably nearly half a dozen sharks of all different sizes. And what breed of shark, I'm not 100%, but they're sharks. The biggest one probably, I'd say, was at least 6 foot, maybe bigger. Yeah, and they scare the shit out of me. I've seen Jaws. 1, 2, 3, and sort of plays on your mind a bit. I've never seen a huge shark, and I don't want to. So yeah, they're scary. Yeah, yeah, It's very nerve-wracking when you see them. You just I just go in. I don't think twice unless I'm with a stack of guys, and then I don't feel as vulnerable in a group of guys. But when you're on your own and you see sharks, which has happened quite a few times, that's scary as hell. So Rob Atrax has asked, have you found any way to overcome or minimize cramps? I got no idea. You'd think in salt water you wouldn't get cramps, but yeah, I cramp up, and mainly when I cramp up is when I'm attempting generally a spin, when I'm trying to bring both legs up and arch my back, and that's pretty well, if I'm going to cramp up, it'll be at that point. And it can be debilitating when you're out in the water and you cramp up. I've actually had both hamstrings and both calves lock up on one wave, and that was a disaster. Yeah, so I've got no idea. I mean, I know you're supposed to take some sodium tablets or whatever, but yeah, I don't know. If you get cramps, you get cramps. There's nothing you can do. As far as I'm aware, but yeah, very frustrating, especially if you get a cramp early in your surf, because it can ruin the day. Well, thanks again, bro Chachos, for making this old fella feel special, and getting to 1,000 subscribers. What happens from here, who knows? But yeah, we're going to make some really cool stickers, cool t-shirts, so you older bodyboarders, you can showcase being a bodyboarder and be proud of being an old bodyboarder. I certainly am.